Hello everyone and welcome to Big Screen Reviews. I'm Harley.
I'm James.
And today,
we're going to watch or review it.
Because we all float here. Alright. I know that you don't like clowns, right? You don't like scary movies
Definitely don't like clowns or scary movies.
So what were your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts was whether or not I was actually going to watch it.
I'm going to be able to make it through it.
Yes. It's not very hard to creep me out, and like
this is true. It checks out.
Yeah, and multiple times through the first part of the movie, I debated on just walking out of the theater. Like, I mean, clowns, the jump scares, and me don't mix. So I had a hard time sitting through it.
I don't really have like any fear of clowns. Maybe because I haven't seen the first It. I'll just put that out there up front.
Well, my mom and my sister loved watching scary movies when I was a kid. So I had to sit through most of these.
Yeah.
Whether I liked them or not. And the second part of it was two of them. So, yeah.
But yeah, my initial thoughts. Going in, I didn't have any prior experience with It or any fear of clowns. I wasn't wowed by it. That's my initial.
Well, the compared to like the original one, I think they could have done better on this one. Overall, compared to the original, it just to me it wasn't anywhere near as good.
Yeah. You're talking about plot. So I mean, the plot. It's got a good plot. I mean, if you read the book or seen the first one, I guess you know that the plot is basically similar, right?
Yeah, overall, but one thing that this might just be nostalgia speaking, but to me, it didn't seem like the plot went anywhere near as in depth as it did in the original ones.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, the plot was in this movie barely done. Really, like it kind of goes on the basis that you already assume or that you already know kind of what's going to happen. Because most people that watched it have already watched the first or the original ones.
Yeah, or read the book, something like that. Which I have not read the book either.
I haven't read the book. Like I said, I've watched the original ones, but so to me, the plot really wasn't all that great.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, but I knew some of the original stuff, so going in, I already knew what was going on. For the most part, anyway.
For the most part.
Like I said, I don't know the in-depth details, so.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched the original ones, but to me, the original ones were more fleshed out than this one.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the pacing?
The pacing of the movie? To me, it was kind of slow.
Yeah, I definitely, it would be really quick. Like, I thought the fact that, Pennywise shows up in the first...
5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. They're not going to beat around the bush with it. But then there'll be parts in between where it would really slow down quite a bit.
It slowed down a lot to me. Like, I had time to think, hey, do I really want to sit through this? Yeah. So, and the movie is like 2 hours and 15 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a long one.
So, plan for a long movie if you want to go watch it.
Yeah. Like I said, the parts where it was, they were really intense parts where, it sped up and it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
But then it would go back to just a lot slower, mundane stuff, not, it's like, okay, back to normal life.
It's like, okay, we got this killer clown, trying to kill us. Let's not worry about that just yet.
Yeah. Let's
go back to, everything else.
What do you think about the sets?
The locations. To me, there really wasn't all that many of them. Wooded areas, houses, and streets. That was pretty much all that you really seen, or at least that I remember.
Mm.
So to me, I didn't really think that this. I mean, they looked they did good shots on it, but as far as like having a variety of different scenes, they didn't really, in my opinion.
Yeah, I still like the sets. The lack of different locations. Well, I mean, there's different locations.
Yeah.
But the fact that they get to reuse like so many spots, they get to put more detail. I felt like into it.
Oh yeah.
Than just like washing over areas that you're only gonna see it once, so don't pack as much detail.
Yeah.
You see most places multiple times. I mean, the wooded areas change up a bit.
Yeah.
When you see those, but I liked just the level. Like I said, the level of detail.
Yeah, it had some pretty good detail. I think they could have been a little bit more diverse on what different scenes they had, but they still did a pretty good job on the scenes.
But yeah, my favorite had to have been there at the end though. That final little bit, that's just the detail and all that they put into that scene. And,
oh yeah, they did pretty good right there at the end when it comes to the scenes.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, if we're going to move on to casting, I think the casting was pretty good. I mean, I didn't recognize any of the actors or actresses, really.
I didn't really either. But just because we didn't recognize them or anything like that, they actually did a fairly decent job.
Oh, yeah, it was... And, I mean, even to be so young, the main characters, they were...
Yeah, obviously they were kids.
Yeah. I thought they were quite talented.
Yeah, they did a really good job for this movie. I mean,
oh yeah. All right, so if we broke down the categories again, I don't know. I'd probably give the plot. What would you say? I'd probably give it I'd give it a solid 8.
I have to give the plot like a 3.
Really?
Yes. Like I said, to me, it didn't really flesh out really too much what was going on, or any like backstory on why. Like, I mean, it did a little bit.
Yeah, there was a backstory to it,
but it didn't really flesh it out that much in this movie. Like, again, it might have been just nostalgia, but I feel like in the original ones, they fleshed out the backstory a bit more, at least.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I liked it more than that. I liked it quite a bit, like I said. The way that they told the story, and they also kind of, I don't know how to put it. I mean, they showed you each like character, from their life, at least the kids anyway. You see bits here and there, so that their characters developed a bit more. Like I said, I don't know about if the original developed them as much, but you get to see each one of their, home life, just about, just them act in different situations.
Yeah,
their fears and stuff.
Yeah. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've watched the original one, so I don't quite remember if it did that in the original one or not. But I just feel like they could have fleshed out the backstory and a little bit more, at least.
Yeah. If we wanted to rate the sets.
I'd actually have to give that about a 7. Because even though that there was so few sets, in my opinion, they did it really well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'd go probably 7.5. That area. Mainly that extra half. I got to give it for the final scene. The final scene. Well, it's not really the final. It's like the climax of the movie.
Yeah. I kind of meant that. But.
Yeah. That, I was just... I don't know what it looked like I said, in the original, but in this one, it just looked fantastic.
Right. Yeah, so scenes were really good. Not too much of them, but they did.
One thing that we didn't talk about, scare factor.
Oh. It's not hard to scare me during a movie. They have a lot of jump scares to me. Like, I went and watched it with my mom, and she didn't jump once through the entire movie. But, like, she's sitting there right there beside me, and then, like, something happens, I'm like, whoa! You know, and I'll jump, like, hard.
Yeah.
And it happened way more often than I'm comfortable with.
So what would you rank the scare factor?
For me, the scare factor would probably be, I'd say a good 7. Just because there was some pretty creepy stuff that happened in it to me. Like I said, it's not hard to creep me out, so obviously I normally stay away from these type of movies. But, yeah, around a 7.
This is probably another point where we're going to disagree a little bit. It's not as hard to scare me in movies, I don't think. But I'd probably give it like 4. Yeah, there was some creepy stuff. There were some jump scares. I did like how some of them would kind of lead up to it. Like, you know it's happening. Like, you know, there's creepy stuff going on, and it wouldn't just, like, jump out and scare you. You know, it kind of, like, built up to, like, you know, like a little miniature, like, climax in the scene. But overall, it wasn't... I just didn't think it was too scary.
Yeah, like, I'm just not good with, like, any kind of horror film anyways. But, like, to me, this is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, there's a lot of jump scares. That's one thing that I didn't really like about it, though, is that there was so many jump scares.
Yeah. You gonna rank the pacing?
The pacing. The pacing of the movie, to me, was slow. So, yeah, there was parts where it sped up a little bit, but it would slow right back down.
Yeah, the overall average felt kind of drug out.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to give it a 4 on pacing.
Yeah, I'll give it probably the same before. I get, though, like, I can see why they drug it out. At the end, it's not really too big of a spoiler.
No.
The last title frame, it says it, and then it says Chapter 1. So,
well, I mean, if you've watched the originals, you know there's going to be a second.
Yeah, obviously, you know, they're coming out with the second chapter or whatever, so...
Yeah, that's not really a spoiler. That's just common sense.
So, you know, just dragging it out more to, you know, maybe just add more to the second one. The casting, I'd go with about a 6. Like I said, they're pretty good, you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 5. Somewhere in the middle, because didn't really recognize any of them, but they still did good.
Mm-hmm. And while I talked them up a lot earlier, I mean, they did great, fantastic, but it wasn't that like all of the cast.
Yeah,
there was ones that definitely shined through better than the others.
Yeah,
on their abilities.
Yeah, like I said, the main ones, I think they all did really good. So I just kind of want to go in the middle because I couldn't really decide if I wanted to rate like the whole cast, like the characters you don't see very much or anything.
Oh yeah,
but 5.
So overall, biggest things that you liked about it.
Biggest things I liked.
Biggest parts you liked
about it.
The credits. That was his favorite.
Walking out.
Yeah, when it was over, that was his favorite.
Yeah, when the lights came back on. That was probably one of my favorites. Honestly. Like I said, I don't do horror films that well, so that's one of the things I liked. But if you want something from the movie itself that I liked, the bullies, when they got a little bit of their comeuppance at the river.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
That was one of my favorite parts.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite part, actually, just because like they do an awful good job of getting you to hate these bullies.
Oh yeah,
so
the movie. Yeah,
yeah, they do a very good job of like right from the beginning. You don't like these guys, at all. So I thought that was a really good point, and like I think everybody in the theater did too, because they were all like, "Yeah," you know. Yeah, you know.
For me, probably my favorite part, the rousing action right before the main climax where they're in the old house.
Oh,
I like that. That whole little strip there. The whole thing was pretty intense. You know,
it was,
kept you on your toes.
Yeah, like it was like he says it was pretty intense, but to me it was a lot more intense. Like, see, I'm in this theater, right, and it's cold as it's really cold. So I'm sitting here with my arms in my shirt, like trying to keep warm, and I'm sitting there, oh my god, you know, and like I was sweating even though I was cold because of it.
Yeah,
and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, whoa, you know, look around. Luckily,
some weird feelings.
Yeah, I was like my skin is like ice cold, but I have sweat, and I'm like, this is not good.
It never is. So, biggest things you didn't like?
Biggest things I didn't like was how many jump scares there was. To me, if somebody wants to do a jump scare right, they don't really have to. They can lead up to it, and you still won't expect it. Another thing that I didn't really like is some people, their main thing on the jump scares is the scene itself doesn't scare them. It's more along the lines of the sound.
Yeah, it's just like more startling than anything.
Yeah, than anything. And like it gets some of the jump scares, like it does that, you know, that sound, and it does that quite a bit. And so
it definitely does rely on audio quite a bit during those scenes.
Yeah, like I would have jumped anyway because it creeps me out. But somebody like, say, my sister or my mom, without that sound, they wouldn't jump because they just don't get creeped out by it.
Yeah.
Another thing was how slow it was at different parts. We've said that multiple times, but it gets pretty slow.
Yeah.
So
my least favorite, Pennywise voice.
I didn't even notice that until just now.
I mean, I get what he was going for, what they were going for with it. It just didn't hit that mark for me. Like, you know, it's supposed to be like kind of squeaky or whatever, and you know, kind of happy sounding or whatever, but to make it more creepy. But I don't know, it just seemed off. It just didn't.
Yeah, like his voice did kind of seem off, and like it didn't seem right.
But not, like, to me, it wasn't in a way that...
I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't, it didn't match him, I don't think.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was off in a creepy way. It was just off in a way that made you go, really? You know, what's going on?
It's like, that doesn't sound like I view him.
Yeah. And if it was, like, off in a way that was, you know, like, why does it sound like that? That's creepy, or, you know, that's weird, or...
Yeah.
Then that would have been alright for me. Oh, I did also like how he runs.
Oh yeah, he got a pretty creepy run.
Yeah, that was pretty like just unnatural, and
there was parts where he did that, and like it freaked me out for a minute. Like it was a couple of those parts where I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be in here.
Yeah,
might want to just leave. Like I said, I'm not good with horror films, so multiple times through this movie, I thought about just leaving. So,
I know I can assume your answer.
What's that?
But would you see it in theaters? Rent it or stay away from it?
I would stay away from it. Watch the originals. In my opinion, I think the originals are better and a little bit more fleshed out. If you really want to watch it, then I'd wait to rent it. But to me, I just think that the originals are better, so just stick with them.
If it hadn't been such a long movie, if they had condensed it down a little bit better, Cut some parts out. I would definitely see it in theaters, but I would just rent it.
Yeah, like at least then, like because we said like we said, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes, I think, and that's a long time. And if you want to be really creepy with it, then rent it and watch it by yourself in the dark.
Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Just remember, subscribe for more content. Comment,
comment and see if, or tell us what you want us to watch. If you want us to watch anything,
what you want to change, and like the video if you
like the video. Yep.
Well, until next time.